You are now tuned in to the official podcast of the Foundation. So sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy the show.
Yeah, man, we definitely gonna transition out of that, man. And look like we got our special guest, man. He's definitely in the building, man. In the building, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and set up the introduction. My man, hailing out of Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Man, great actor, up and coming rising star, and just bursting on the scene. Man, ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome Mr. Torrey Lawrence. What's up, Torrey?
Hey, man, how you doing? Hey, Chris, hello, man. How you
doing? We doing good, man. We just been chopping it up for an hour, just going over a few topics that's going on in this country, man. But but like I told everybody, man, we definitely at 9 o'clock you will be here. I told him, I said, how it is in Hollywood, man. They got projects going on. Sometimes things run over. So I just try to get in where I fit in. You know what I mean?
Man, it's been crazy. It's been raining out here, so just gotta take my time getting home.
Oh, for sure. I can only imagine, especially with the traffic out there, boy. Oh my goodness, man. Woo. Yep, but yeah, folks are definitely out here showing you love. But yeah, man, go ahead and tell the people who you are and where you're from, your early educational background. Go ahead and explain to folks who you are.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Torrey B. Lawrence. I'm originally from Rocky Mount, North Kakalaki.
Yes, sir.
A little bit about myself. From a small town, like I said, Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Went to college at St. Augustine's College, Falcon Pride. Graduated with a degree in computer science and worked in corporate America for like 20 years. And started doing theater in 2000. First play was at Raleigh Little Theater, The Taming of the Shrew, and been at it ever since then.
Yeah, man, that's what's up, man. Yeah, man. And the thing that came to my attention was, I didn't even know you act, man, until my uncle, man, he came across this project that he had with you. It was a DVD, and when he played it for me, I'm looking, and I'm like, is that Torrey? He was like, yeah, man, Torrey acting. I was like, he doing a damn good job too, man. What was the name of that project?
The project was called Everything's Copaesthetic. That was
Everything's Copaesthetic.
Davis.
Yeah.
Everything's Copaesthetic.
Yeah, man. And from that point on, I think you knew that you wanted to take it to another level and go on over to the left coast, which was a huge step. So let's talk about that out the gate. Like when did you realize that you enjoyed acting?
I realized when I enjoyed acting when it started to give me the confidence to believe in myself. I say that because you'll probably start noticing I have a slight stammer, a speech impediment, and what have you. So when I started getting on stage, and because it takes a lot to really to do theater. Especially when I was a kid in school, just if I had to give a book report, I was like, no, I'll just take half. You go ahead and take half the points off because I'm not getting in front of a classroom and recite stuff now. But that's when I really started having a passion for a desire for it because of that. Long story, it didn't come that easy though. I say that because the first play that I actually was able to be in was, like I said, Taming of the Shrew. But before I auditioned for 3 years and I didn't book anything because the hardest thing for me at an audition was to say my name, Torrey B. Lawrence. But I couldn't even say my name because I stuttered so bad. And when I finally got over that hump, then there was the cold reading part of it. And I sucked at that. So it took 3 years of really taking acting classes and just working on it and trying to build a confidence up to do this, because other performers I looked up to, James Earl Jones, for example.
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson, he still has a speech impediment. And I read an article where that's the reason why he would say, motherfucker.
Motherfucker what?
So, but when I started to be on that stage and I can learn these lines and just be able to project and get over that fear, if you will, then I just started having confidence, more and more confidence in myself to do this,
Yeah, and which makes sense because which the first thing I could think about is when I looked at the project, that my uncle had showed me, and I said, "Is that Torrey?" He didn't start it that one time. You know what I'm saying? He did his lines. It was clean. And it's like, dude, he had the swag and shit. Like, yeah, I was like, damn, I said, well, okay, that's what's up. So you say, is it safe to say that, so James Earl Jones and Samuel Jackson, you said were definitely your biggest inspiration. At what point did you know that James Earl Jones had the speech impediment, or even Samuel Jackson?
I read an article about it. It was literally, like I said, I started doing theater in early 2000s, and it was an article that I read somewhere. I just can't recall exactly where, but there was him and several other professional actors that had speech impediments, and they still was able to accomplish. They didn't let that hinder them to go for what they want. And I felt really empowered by that, and I was like, you know what? If they did it, I know I can do it. I just got to put in the work and just keep grinding and just keep, because it was a lot of rejection. It was a lot of rejection. I remember that when in North Carolina, whenever we get an audition, we would have to drive to Wilmington, and Wilmington, as you know, it's 3 hours away.
Yep.
Raleigh.
Yep.
So I would literally have to take a day off of work. And, when you work in corporate America and you got an audition, it's going to take you 3 hours to get there. You're there for like 5-10 minutes, then 3 hours to get back. So I'd have missed a whole day's of work. Yeah. So, I try to make up my time best I can. But one of the hardest things to deal with, because when I finally started getting some success in theater, when I was getting some articles written about the performance that I was able to give and overcoming my speech impediment, I still had the proverbial wall, if you will, where I would meet casting directors and I still stuttered saying my name. I still stuttered. And once they heard that, my agent told me at the time, they weren't interested, because they felt that once I'm on set, I couldn't do the job because I just couldn't say my name. I couldn't start off like, "Hi, my name is Torrey Lawrence." Instead was, and it felt like 20 minutes just to say Torrey Lawrence.
Yeah.
And regardless of, like I said, I would send them articles like, "This is me doing theater at this place and this place and this place." It's not an issue. They didn't want to take a chance, and it's sad that you would see closed-mindedness on that, because all I was just looking for was a chance. And I say this because I remember someone that was in North Carolina. They had their own production company, and I was trying to build a relationship with this guy for like 6 months to a year. And I was sending him articles and whatnot. And I would just tell him, I said, look, all I'm asking is for a chance. If I mess up, and he said, look, I want to give you a chance, Torrey, but if I hire you and then you're on set and you start stuttering, then the producer's going to be looking at me like, what's wrong with them? I was like, let me handle that. Let me fight that battle. Don't just cancel me just because of that. It's, it's kind of like, you're not even giving me a chance to prove to them. I've proven to you, but now you won't let me prove to them. And he just never gave me a shot, and I was like very, very disappointed because maybe I didn't try to cultivate that relationship hard enough, but it's just people early on in my career wasn't willing to take that chance or that leap of faith, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're definitely going to be an inspiration to many, and I'm going to lean on the side of that that they just weren't willing to take the chance, And I mean, my thing is this: I mean, you see your work is impeccable, so why not give a shot? You know what I'm saying? I can see if you got on set and you just messed up, but your work has been, from what I've seen, it's been top notch. So you got to give a person, at least give them a chance. You know what I'm saying? And to me, they blew it. You know what I'm saying? To me, when it's the moment of truth and you have a chance to showcase someone's skill set, then shit. If you don't show up and give them a shot, then anything you say at that point don't mean nothing because you didn't believe me to begin with.
Exactly. I say that if I'm on set and if I can't do it on set, then it's on me. I got to own that, because I look at it like this: when I'm on set, when you've cast me in something, I have to be a good represent. I have to represent you because you gave me the chance to be here. Exactly. I'm on time. I know my lines. I'm not a problem on set. I'm fun to be around. I get stuff done, and that's the thing right there. I don't want to be given an opportunity to then prove you wrong for giving me that opportunity. That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. They should at least give you the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? That if you fumble the ball a couple times, then it's like, okay, I've jacked it up. But if your work has been A1 up to this point, then why not give me the opportunity to shine?
Well, and I guess when I say give me the opportunity, it might be a little funny kind of wordplay. I mean, just all I'm saying is, let me do the work.
Yeah.
Let me do the work. And if you don't like the work that you see, fine. Fine. But I guarantee when I'm on that set, I have time to prepare. Right now, I got lines I got to learn right now for something. I'm just really hungry. I'm really hungry. I got a desire to do some work, and there's a lot of work out there. I see a lot of writers that's writing some great material, and I just want that opportunity to bring it to life. All the writers, the producers, directors, I've seen some of their work, and I just try to connect to them. Like, I hope to work with you so I can show you what I can bring to the table to be an asset, if you will.
Makes totally sense. And if you look at somebody like James Earl Jones, no one would have ever thought he had a speech impediment. And I knew about that. You know what I'm saying? But he's one of the best, actors of our time in our generation. When you think of that voice, first thing you think of is either Mufasa or the King or Coming to America. I mean, whatever his voice. Look, even Darth Vader. That was his voice for Darth Vader too, right?
Yep.
So he's iconic, man. You know what I'm saying? So
too.
and that's the thing too. With there's so many famous people that have impediments. You have Tiger Woods, Bo Jackson, the athlete Bo Jackson from Oakland Raiders, former Oakland Raiders. The country singer Mel Tillis, the country singer.
Yeah,
stutters when he talks, but when he got to sing, he don't stutter.
Flawless.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's, we're just people that just have not a disability. I don't think it's a disability at all. It's just a unique trait.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. It's a very unique trait.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's work ethic. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same work and energy that it's going to take in each part, and learning the lines is the same discipline you got to have. So yeah, I definitely agree with that 100%. So what would you say up to this point was your proudest moment that you could think of up to this moment right now?
Proudest moment. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, there's not just one proudest moment. I mean, the most recent proudest moment I'll say was being in the Heart of the Fall.
Oh, for sure.
That was one of the proudest moments, right there. But if I was to go in chronological order, there's so many proud moments. I say the first proud moment was when I did audition for Taming the Shrew. I memorized a monologue from Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. I memorized the whole thing, and I got up, and when I said my name, I stuttered. Well, I said that whole monologue piece for like 2 minutes, didn't stutter not one time. Standing ovation from the director and everybody else in there. Now, when I had a cold read, that's when
They're like, okay, wait a minute now. Let's back up a little bit.
But that was one of the first proudest moments, because I finally conquered that. Another proud moment was working on a play called A Lesson Before Dying. Mm-hmm. And that was in North Carolina with Deep Dish Theater in Chapel Hill.
Yep.
And I remember the director, Paul Furlick, great director, and I auditioned for the role twice, and I just didn't feel I was ready, because this was really, because if you're familiar with this, you're familiar with the play, it takes place in like 1940s in the South, so that was really heavy, yeah. So I didn't think at that time I had the chops for it, but he believed in me. And when I auditioned for it, I didn't stutter, but I let the stutter happen because the character was scared.
Makes sense.
So I think that I kind of used that trait of mine to like bring out the fear that this character Jefferson was feeling. So, and at the table read, I'm stuttering throughout the table read. Everybody's looking at me like, and I could, maybe they won't looking at me like that, but I could just feel eyes just looking at me, and I'm like, and after this table read, I tell Paul Furlick, I said, look, Paul, you did not make a mistake hiring me. I got this. And he looked at me and he says, I trust you. I believe in you. Right there, that was like, finally someone was willing to believe in me with that much dialogue. And I just literally butchered a table read. And when opening night came, I was on point. I was on point on that. So, there's just been a lot of proud moments that honestly, I can't even count. When I was working on The Heart of the Fall, a director named Graham Kelly, and I would work with him on a project with a musician called Stu Lawson. He was directing the music video for that. And I worked with him on the music video. I was one of the actors in the music video. Yeah. And whenever I worked on a project, I've always tried to, after the project's done, I write a thank you letter to each director, whatever. I try to write to everyone I can, include everybody, because that's what I've learned from corporate America. That's what I did in theater. Yeah. Every theater production I did, I've always wrote a thank you letter. At the very last night, that's when I give it to him. And I did that with Graham, and he called me up. I was in New Mexico at the time. He says, hey, I got a commercial coming up Are you available? I'm like, I'm trying to learn these lines and get this fight scene down. And I'm like, yeah, it shoots on this day. Okay, I'll be coming back from, I'll be here for about like a few more days, like 3 more days. And it was like a big paragraph of dialogue. And, I show up off book, nailing every scene and everything like that, because he believed in me. He was willing to take that chance. And from that relationship of just being on point, being on your square, and just having a good relationship with people, that has garnered more work with them and other directors as well. So, and I'm hoping that that when Mr. Samuels works on the continuation of the Heart of the Fall, that hopefully he'll give me a call and says, "Hey, you want to be in the sequel?" Like, yes. So, sounds if you're watching, yes.
Reboot.
Hell yeah!
I'll learn how to ride a horse. I don't know the horse since I was a kid, so I'll learn real quick.
Hell yeah! Why not? Shoot, that's a golden opportunity. And look at that! I got one of the questions from a viewer. They said, "Did you receive a professional training for your unique ability, or did you just tackle that on your own?" Okay.
As far as like unique abilities, what in particular? Just like acting.
As far as being able to overcome the speech impediment, to be able to perform.
Oh, okay. Unique abilities. Like I said, 3 years of constant before I got that first role. So I took a lot of acting classes in North Carolina and Raleigh. I read several books, acting books, and just constantly worked on it. I would read Shakespeare aloud. I would just do anything and everything. And like I said, I went to auditions and just tried to book jobs. And if I stuttered, but I just kept fighting. And eventually, the more and more I did it, I was getting discouraged because nothing seemed to be happening, or I get passed up because of this or that. And I still get told no. Even after 20 years, I still get told no. I get passed over. It comes with the territory, because there's so many variables in acting in this career. Yeah. You can be too tall, too dark, too this, too that. I can't control it. All I can do is just get in there and be the best you can be. But as far as like abilities, do the work. Just be in there, be present, do the work. Theater, I think theater is really the backbone for me, because that got me to respect the craft. Because in theater, you have to always be paying attention. It's not like in film, you mess up a line, like, can we do that again? No, theater, you mess up a line, you better keep it going. You lose the spot, you find a way to get back on track.
Yeah,
You can't just quit. And you got an audience members just looking at you like, you got to be on point. So I tell people all the time, theater. That for me, it honed my craft. It gave me a really good foundation, because even in film, you get tripped up sometimes. And it's important that, and if it's a good shot, you don't want to mess that up. And if it's something you flubbed around with, you can always adapt. You can make changes on the fly. And I can only attest that to doing theater. So,
you see the director be like, that was perfect. That was perfect. You be like, I just fucked that up with
you said that's good. Okay.
Yeah, man. But like I say, you're going to serve as a definitely a role model for those who are definitely jumping into that industry. Now we're going to transition to the Hard Day Fall experience, and more importantly, how you was able to. I'm pretty sure when being a part of that project, a lot of folks don't know the presence of African Americans or black Americans in general had in being cowboys. How did that whole experience? Because I know you had to already know a little something about the cowboys or black cowboys, but it probably brought us a lot of things to the light that you didn't know of as far as the blacks being cowboys in that period of time.
Well, yeah, it was a phenomenal experience to be there, because when I got to set, and when you're dressed in the cowboy gear, you put the boots on, it just changes you. You feel different. And when we get to set and you see the town, you see the horses, and you just see the horse and buggy come through. Yep. Stuff like that. And I was really in awe of it, because in school, you don't really hear about, in school when I was coming up, you didn't really hear about black cowboys. I didn't hear about Nat Love until college. Nat Love, Bill Pickett. I didn't know about Bass Reeves until I want to say maybe like 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. And because Bass Reeves was the original Lone Ranger. Mm-hmm. And I found that out. Yeah, I found out watching a TV show, called Timeless. It was a really great show. And that's when it was like, wait, the Lone Ranger was black? Because when you're a kid, you always saw him as a white male Texas Ranger, and Bass Reeves was a real lawman. Yep. He had he arrested over 3,000 criminals. He served as a lawman for like 32 years. So when you see the film, and you see Delroy Lindo portray such a powerful presence like that, it was really, it's really wonderful. You saw Jonathan Majors playing Nat Love. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. It was just, when you just see a town full of African Americans that was in the West, it just has a different feeling, because even when I used to watch the spaghetti westerns, yeah, you really see blacks in spaghetti westerns. You just didn't know.
Nope.
No. And I think the first representation of blacks that I can remember was watching Posse.
Yep. Big Daddy Kane. Yep. Okay.
But Lonesome Dove had Danny Glover was actually in that, Lonesome Dove. So there was representation, but it was hard to find, or if you don't want aware of the material that they were represented, if you will. Yeah. But it was. Yes, go ahead.
I wonder it was a comedy with a black cowboy, wasn't it? That they had.
You talking about Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles, yeah.
Sheriff of Rock Ridge.
Yeah.
Okay, that didn't have a black cowboy in it, but I'm trying to take this stuff that's more realistic. But I gotta give it to Mel Brooks, because that was pretty unique, having a black cowboy. You had Gene Wilder in it. You just had you had representation of so many different nationalities, and he wasn't afraid to pull punches with anything, But yeah, it's still a classic movie today. I still watch Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, that's my black cowboy. He always had me rolling, man.
Yeah, man, that set for the Holiday Fall, man, definitely was star-studded, man. A lot of heavyweights in that bad boy. What I mean?
Yeah, unfortunately, I only worked with Jonathan Majors and Daniela Deadweller. So I was only there for a week. So I didn't get a chance to work with Delroy Lindo or Regina King. But, I was just in awe of just watching everything that's happening around, because this was my first time on a really big Netflix show like this. And I just, for my small role, I always want to make sure I was present, ready to go. Just knew my stuff because I didn't want to waste time or money. You know? That's the thing with it, because that audition came out of left field because I didn't submit for that. You know, funny story. Remember I was telling you about building relationships, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. This lends into one of the proudest moments that I had was when I was able to do motion capture. If you don't know what motion capture is, motion capture, if you see it, Lord of the Rings, where you see Gollum, my precious, people that do that, or video games.
Precious.
I was fortunate enough to get some training in mocap with the mocap bolts here, and I was contacted by Jamie Bathis, who was a casting director for Sony, and I was able to work on Spider-Man Interactive. So the interactive game of Spider-Man that came out, I think it was 2018 or something like that. And I was doing stunts, and I performed several characters. And I met a guy named Stephen O'Young, and he played Dr. Negative or Mr. Negative in that video game. Well, Stephen O'Young has done a plethora of work. He has like over 70 credits. He's worked on Terminator Fate. He was in CSI Vegas recently. The guy just has so many credits. Bring it back to a little over a year ago, because we worked on Spider-Man. A young lady named Brittany Hagan emails me, and she's like, "Hey, I would like to see if I can get you to audition for The Harder to Fall." I'm like, "Okay. How did you get my information?" Because I don't know this person, anything like that. Because sometimes you think like this is a prank or whatever like that. She said, "No, Stephen O'Young referred me to you." I'm like, "Steven, okay," because we worked together on Spider-Man. We always stayed in contact. So, and we did stunts and Spider-Man. So I said, "Oh yeah, Steven, okay, yep." Now it starts to click. So she says, "Well, I would like for you to read of this character, Hard Case number 1. I said, "Great." And so this was at work. So I was at my regular IT job, and I said, "Look, I can't submit it right now, but as soon as I get home, I'll learn the lines, submit it to you tonight." Great, because it was a turnaround, like quick. And so I did my scene. I tried to put something Western on, I guess, not like I had a hat or anything like that. I didn't go crazy, but just something like somebody from the West would wear, And did my scene, did the fight choreography in it, like I got punched and knocked out, and edited, sent it to her. Next day, she told me, "We want to book you." I'm like, "Say what?" "We want to book you for this." I'm like, this is awesome. And then something inside me like, okay, how am I going to explain this at work? Because that's the thing. There's actors out here that are waiters and waitresses. They have survival jobs, and I have a job that is more than a survival job. It's been a job that I've had since I went to school for computer science. So that's one of the not pitfalls, but one of the daunting challenges of doing IT and trying to split the time to do acting as well. So I got to juggling. It's like, because one's paying the bills right now, the other one's is helping out paying the bills. And but I said, you know what? I told myself, and I'm glad I did this. When COVID happened, I volunteered to go into the office every day. So people was working remotely. I was going in the office every day because they had computers that need to be reimaged and wiped and whatnot, redeployed and everything like that. So I'm like, I'll take it, So for almost a year, I'm going in every day for almost a year during COVID while, other coworkers work from home, which is fine. But I looked at it as an opportunity, like, I'll do what I got to do. So there can't be no question about, one, my work ethic for my job. Two, when something else comes around, I got to take it. So, I was trying to I want to make myself as valuable as I can. So long story short, I took that week off. I was able to do stuff remotely when I could. But when I was there, I was just there trying to learn and soak up as much information as I could. Saw what camera A was, camera B, trying not to mess up my lines, although it was 2 or 3 lines I had, but just trying to make sure I was present. I was listening, attentive, because when I did my audition, I was so used to Westerns with that slow drawl kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Sam was like, pick up the pace a little bit. I'm like, and I gradually picked up the pace but that's the Westerns I grew up in, you know, like that. So once I picked up the pace, I kept it going. And I was just so proud to be a part of it. And I didn't really tell anybody I was in it because the thing is, you don't want to tell someone that you're in something and then it never makes the cut, Yeah. That was the thing where that's like, so when the trailer came out, I'm like, great. I still can't say that I was in it, because you just don't know, and that would have been, granted I got paid for it, but to have the footage means so much more because now people believe you, Granted, I did get a credit on IMDb, but when you see that footage of me acting alongside these individuals, it helps prove what I'm doing is working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. From a credibility standpoint. Yeah, exactly. Most definitely. And I noticed, man, when I've been watching a lot of projects that you worked on, and especially like projects like Death Wish, and I'm noticing, dude is nice with his hands. He got the doggone fight scenes down. I mean, what would you say? What would you credit that to as far as getting you to be able to do those fight scenes or even do the the Spider-Man scenes, the action scenes, to be able to just put those martial art pieces? What's some of your experience with that, man? I know you got some experience with the martial arts piece, man.
Yeah. Well, when I first started getting into the martial arts when I was young, I didn't have the discipline to really see it through because I started in karate when I was young, but I just didn't have that, do or die mentality when I was younger. Yeah. And in my late 30s, I was like, you know what? I definitely want to accomplish this. So I looked at several styles, karate, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, and I came upon Krav Maga. And I was like, Krav Maga. I started reading it more and more. Right? Oh, this was developed for the Israeli Special Defense Force. Oh, okay. It was developed for special operators. They was using that. Law enforcement was using that. And, they start moving to the civilian part. Mm-hmm. And the thing I liked about Krav, it pulled from everything. It pulled from karate, jiu-jitsu, Tang Soo Do, judo, just several styles, and it put the best. It put the best into one for me. Okay. I say that because when I talked about when someone's like, what it takes to be a good actor, you got to know your material. You got to know what you're working with, and that's how I was telling them, read several books, and I will pull from each book what works for me because not everything's going to work for you. And that's why I looked at it from Krav, and I started. Everyone starts as a white belt, and I said, you know what? If I really hit this hard, like college, if I really don't miss any of the classes, even when I'm injured, I still test. I just keep getting up. In 4 years, I can get that black belt, and that's what happened. So, in my class, I think it was like 30 white belts that started with me, maybe 25 to 30 white belts that started. When I got the black belt, only 3 of us was left.
Damn. Damn. That's a serious weed out.
Yeah, because it boils down to how bad you really want it. And I started taking Krav before Instagram or anything like that. You know, I just really wanted to do the work because, one, as an actor, when I looked at action shows, action movies and whatnot, when people doing martial arts, I'm like, you know what? I want to be able to do that. I want to bring that authenticity to it. And not just for acting for myself as well, you know, because I wanted to make sure I can defend myself no matter what. So when I started doing Krav, you know, I think there was, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 belts to get the black belt.
Wow.
So when my first belt test was like for yellow, it took 6 hours. I couldn't hardly walk to my car. You know, that's how brutal long that test was. Orange belt. And I remember, and when I got my orange belt, that's when you can start going to fight class. So what better way to get better at fighting than, you know, got to take those hits. You got to know what they giving you these tools. Now it's up to you to make these tools work, you know. And my instructor at the time, Tony Hardy, big shout out to Tony. You know, he cleaned my clock so many times across that mat because he was a black belt, and here I am, an orange belt, getting my clock clean every Wednesday. But you know what? I took those hits. I said, you know what? I got to get better. I got to find out a way. And to get better, like I said, you got to research. You got to really want it. So I looked at several boxers, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Robinson. I looked at guys. I looked at their footwork. I looked at how their punching combinations were. I looked at so many things so I could start countering him. And then I started counting. He's like, wait a minute, how'd you do that? Well, I did this and this. Like, okay. And then he made me pay for it, you know? So I told him how I did that. So I figured out a way to counter that. How did you do that? And I'm not telling you that because now you're going to just, you know. So from orange belt to green belt to blue belt to brown belt. I mean, because, you know, for green belt, it took a year. Blue belt took a whole year, and that's 4 tests every year, 4 laborious tests. Brown belt, full year. I started teaching, being an assistant fight instructor at green belt.
Damn.
Because I was going, like I said, every Wednesday, I don't care if it was cold, rainy, I didn't feel good. No, I gotta get that time in. And it was just fight classes, just the other classes as well, the fundamentals. Because a lot of times people want to do the flashy stuff. The flashy stuff is cool and all, but the fundamentals, that's the one that's going to save your life. Yeah. And I just really just fell in love with it. You know, I always just kept pushing myself time in and time out. I mean, there was times, man, because when I was coming to fight class, we was going like 70, 80%. So, you know, we won't like playing patty cake. Nah, you feeling this, you know, and I was fine with that, you know, because that's how you toughen up. Because if you get in a street fight, someone hits you, are you going to cower away and like, oh my God, that was too hard? No, suck it up. So I fought when I was injured, swole hand. Bad guys don't care if you're injured. They look at that as a
hell no.
You know, oh, good, he's weak.
Finish him off.
Yeah. So I learned where I had to fight when I was at a disadvantage. And then from that, I transitioned to teaching fight class because Tony had to go. He had other endeavors he had to do. So I think when I became blue belt or brown belt, that's when I was the instructor for fight class for Burbank Krav Maga. Yep. And from there, I taught other classes and I taught fight class. So pretty much every week for 7 years I was fighting. So, you know, I really, and the same thing too for second degree black belt. Because that's the thing, you know. I was willing to do the work, willing to take those hits and whatnot, because I'm gonna tell you one that I think this was when I was blue belt, and you know, like I said, we went hard, and this guy came in really hard, and he hit me so hard. I remember it like it was yesterday. He hit me so hard, I literally had a black eye, and I'm like, okay, you want to go that hard? And he's like smirking. I'm like, all right. Within probably 10 seconds, I broke his nose. So his nose is just literally just blood everywhere. And I felt sorry for like a second. But, you know, we had this concept, you get what you give. So you come with it.
Be prepared to take it.
You're going to be able to, you got to take it. And that guy never came back to fight class. I continued class until I noticed that blood was coming, you know, so I'm like, well, let me go ahead and go home, put some ice on my eyes, sleep sitting upward. Because when you got a black eye, you can't lay down because the blood's going to pool. You got to sleep, you know, like this.
Sitting up, like you got a perm.
Right. And like, you can't blow your nose or anything like that. So, you know, and I came to work the next day and people were like, what happened to you? Fight club.
Like, fight club.
Pretty much. And I wish I had a fight club. I so wish I had a fight club. But you know what? I wore that as a badge of honor. I wore that because, for one, you know, with fighting like that, you learn what works and what doesn't work. And when I started teaching fight class, I was bringing those fundamentals where other students that I was teaching and other instructors were teaching, and I would incorporate that when you go to the ground. How you able to get up? Because now you're in the real world now. You're still in a safe environment, but now you're in the real world. Because, you know, when you're in class, it's one thing. Now, when you come to fight class, we're going to apply that to real world
situations.
Situations and whatnot. So, and I still have a passion for it. I still train on the weekends when I can. And I tell you, like, one of the hardest things was black belt. And when I mean black belt, another year, and one of the tests that we had, because it's 4 tests, it's combatives, weapons, self-defense, and then the 4th one is all of them. I think it was the second or third test was 12 hours. So I got off of work, and I had to be at the dojo. This was in Chatsworth. I had to be in the dojo at 6 or 6:30 till 6 a.m. the next day. They built a kill house in there. We had, you know, it was brutal. It was brutal. And I loved it because it's like, it wasn't just the kill house. We had to fight. My ribs were bruised. I mean, it's like every part of my body was just bruised, but I wore it like, you know, suck it up. How bad do you want it? You know, because a lot of people say like, oh, I want to do acting, or I want to do this. How bad do you want it? Are you willing to suffer? Are you willing to go through the bumps? Because there was some nights, man, I was in pain, but it's like, you know what? Keep doing it. Keep getting better. You know, you lost this match. Figure out a way to win the next time you fight this guy. I found a way how to beat him, you know, because a friend of mine, Jay Walker, and he fought professionally too, called him Headhunter. He would kick you in the head, literally take your head clean off. He always said, find out what your bread and butter was. And I found out what my bread and butter was, and I just kept building on that, building and building and building. And when I look at with that, to bring this back to your question, when I look at fight scenes and someone throws a punch, I know how to make my body react the way that it would in real life because I've been hit by those combinations.
Yep.
You know, I know how to. I've given someone some mean liver shots where they can't fight anymore because I had to do it because I learned how to do a liver shot by watching and practicing, learning from professionals that do this. And that's when I look at a fight scene from John Wick or the Jason Bourne movies. it's great. I like seeing that kind of fighting, that the Punisher on Netflix. I just love that because it's so visceral. So it was just aggressive. It wasn't showy. It wasn't a lot of tricking and flipping and everything. No, he's bashed your head against a wall. And one of the reasons why I created the short fight films Death Wish was to show producers and the directors and casting directors, these are skill sets I can bring. This is Krav. I wanted to show you something that's based on real life. This is what I would do. And I choreographed a scene where I'm slamming a guy's head against a concrete wall and I'm using their head as a cheese grater against it, bashing their head against the concrete, shelling up, kicks and elbows. So in the entertainment industry, it's kind of disheartening when, and I get it, people are a name or they have like a bazillion Instagram followers, and they put them in like martial arts camp or whatnot for 2 weeks. And I because I watch a lot of behind the scenes stuff where they're like, oh, I did this for like two months, and I'm like, try doing this for like 7 years. Try doing a cauldron that's 2 hours long, and then you still got to do some stuff. But you do this for like 2 months, and so I just feel like I hope that the more work I get to do in stunt works and fight stunts, I get opportunities just to show some really good techniques, my work ethic, because a lot of people say, oh yeah, I'm a black belt and this and that. I tell someone I'm a black belt in this, I got the credentials to prove it. Because a lot of people, they think a black belt is this or that, you can do all those flips and tricks. No, I didn't do that in fight class. You don't see that in mixed martial arts, do you? You see some knees, some elbows, some front kicks, takedowns, because that's elbows. That's. I mean, in the street, I'm gonna throw some headbutts to you too. But I just like the fact that I can actually do it. But then it's the other thing too. Are people willing to give you the opportunity to show you, to show them that you can do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you gotta be like Wesley Snipes, the new Wesley Snipes action figure.
Wesley still got it. Wesley still got it, man. And it's just that I have a lot of respect for someone that actually goes through the trenches to actually earn that, and just do. I'm not knocking on any martial arts or anything like that, but it to me, if you're a black belt and what was there was this is on news this year. You had an Olympian black belt, and he was in the Olympics, and he got his butt handed to him. So I say that because did you get that just doing katas, or did you get that through actually fighting?
Yeah.
Point sparring is different than actually going all the way through. Because like I said, when we sparred, I had busted lips sometimes, spitting blood out. It came with it. Someone else was spitting blood out, there was times, man, there was some times like I might have a concussion, let me stay up a couple of nights because I had to go to work the next day.
Damn.
So,
man.
Look, I say that because I just have a lot of respect for the martial arts. I have a lot of respect for individuals, other stunt people that put their life on the lines, because you got stunt men, stunt women that are out there that do amazing work. And I'm staying in my lane, You know, there's things that I'm great at. There's some things that, man, they can. I'm not doing that. You know. So yeah. So I just look at it like that. I've paid my dues. I know about taking punches. I know how to fall. And that's one of the things my instructor was telling me. When you take martial arts, you're gonna learn how to fall. Because in fights, you're gonna fall. You want to make sure that you fall without hurting yourself.
Correctly, yeah.
So, yeah.
But one thing I can say is, you know, on those fight scenes, I could tell there was some training there because the whole way your technique was with the countering and the rollovers, and I was like, nah, this dude been working with he been doing some work, even with the way you holding the gun. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we seen all the time somebody get on screen, hold a gun like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
You know?
Man, I've seen. Let me show you something.
Go get the cat.
You get the cat. You come back with the baseball bat, like. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Torrey B. Lawrence. We are still in the thick of it, man. We having a good time just chopping it up, man. He dropping some serious jewels about the game. But
Okay.
Here we go.
This is the airsoft. This is not real. This is an airsoft. You see the orange tip?
Yeah.
All right, Alec Baldwin, go ahead.
There's nothing orange tip. There's no magazine in here.
Yep.
I train with this, and because it's expensive to go to a gun range all the time. So I use this to practice, But when I see people on TV holding a gun like this, I don't know if you can see it that well. No, you can't see it because of the green screen.
Nah, it's all good.
I just see people holding a pistol.
Just hold it in front of you. Hold it in front of you. Then you can see it. Hold it in front of you just like this. Then you can see it.
I see people holding all weird. It's like it's I say that because did you go to a gun range? Did you practice? And a lot of times I don't think they do. And I think one of the things with doing Krav, that's one of the first things I think when we started going, I was always familiar with guns anyway.
Yeah.
But when I started taking Krav, when I started getting more into like gun takeaways and whatnot, you start really understanding the applications of that. And you hit a term, wrath and trap, like that, because you start to understand that, and you start knowing the right way how to hold the weapon, shooting and whatnot. So I've taken several classes. I continue, like I said, to train. I got an AR, airsoft pistol, airsoft rifle. I train with transitionings around corners, pieing and everything like that. Yep. Because if I'm in a military film or TV show, I want to portray this character as truly as I can. Because in Krav, I work with people that are in law enforcement.
Yeah.
So I would ask them questions, law enforcement and military. So they would teach me some things, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense right here. And then go to the range, like, oh, that makes sense. So then I start applying that to what I need to do to continue to get better at it. Wow. So, and that's across the board with Krav, with motion capture, because sometimes when you go on set for motion capture, if you're holding a gun wrong, people look at you like. And not just mocap, even TV and film. It's like I'm like, I see stuff happening. I'm like, gonna say something? I'm not gonna say anything because I'm not the guy in control or anything like that. So I'm gonna stay right here, do what I gotta do. So, but I say that to say this: if you're gonna be an actor and you gotta hold a gun, you gotta shoot stuff, go to a range, do it, get that particular firearm, get familiar with it, respect it. treat it. That's one of the things I never had to worry about that on the hard to fall, because everyone seemed to be respectful of the firearm. No one was pointing and shooting at no one, or it was just like everyone was on their game.
Yeah.
Just being professional.
Yep.
It wasn't no Alan Baldwin thing.
Honestly, from what I've read about that, I don't think someone that young should have been an armorer, to be honest with you. There's so many different reasons as to why. I'm not going to get into that. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like that's why I say respect that weapon.
Yep.
Treat every gun as if it's loaded.
Loaded, yeah.
Yep.
And if I have to be on set, I'm about to shoot someone. Okay, hold on. Let me check. Confirm these are blanks.
Yeah.
Because, you don't want that to happen. However, when I feel you with a really good armorer that knows what they're doing, is relatively safe. And plus, you're not going to be actually pointing the gun at them. So you got camera angles that could fool the audience to think you're shooting at someone.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, wow.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. So, with that being said, what would you say would be the keys to being a great actor? Because I noticed there's a lot of discipline, a lot of work ethic. But what are some of your keys? Because you definitely already shared a few of them already, but I'm going to let you elaborate on it.
Keys are great. Well, I don't think I'm there yet to be a great actor. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I'm still learning. I would say constantly try to learn from the best. Watch, for example, Richard Chamberlain,
mm-hmm.
Don Cheadle, Denzel Washington. Watch Robert De Niro. Watch some of these guys. Meryl Streep, Viola Davis. Yeah. Watch some of these individuals right here. Could they learn from somebody else?
Yeah.
But on top of that, you got to put the work in. Like I said, in this industry, everybody's time is different.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some individuals that been in the industry maybe 2 years or 5 years, and they're already making big movies and TV shows. And, sometimes it could be relationships, or, is it there the right place, right time? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I remember when I met Raymond Cruz. If you know Raymond Cruz from The Substitute, The Rock and everything, the movie The Rock. I met him. I got it here in 2007. I think I met him in 2008 or 2009. And I was going to the movie at the ArcLight, and I knew who he was, but it just the name didn't register in me. I'm like, sir, I know who you are, and if I could just ask you a quick question, could you give me any kind of advice? Because he was already established then. Because he would start doing other things. He started doing major crimes, and after major crimes, he did Better Call Saul. And he told me that, it took me 20 years. It took me 20 years of pounding the pavement, putting the work, and paying my dues. And I say that because, I've been guilty of looking at somebody else's journey compared to mine, because you start thinking like, man, what am I doing wrong? Why haven't I got that brass ring, the opportunity to finally go from here to here? And I say that because, there have been some depressing times and throughout my life, and as well as other performers that have finally made it. And I guess what keeps me going is just like the work. You just it can't always. And when I say the work, it's not about the money.
Bingo.
It's not about the money. You can't make it about the money. you have to have a genuine passion for what you're doing.
Bingo.
And no matter what project that I'm working on, because there's some projects that I got paid $80 a day. Projects I got paid $125. Projects that I got paid $200, $500, $1,000 a day. I say that because whatever project that I am working on, I treat that project as if it's $1 million set.
Yep.
Bingo.
Because I'm there because you gave me an opportunity. You believe in me, and I'm not gonna show you that you wasted your time or energy on me. You know, I say that because when I'm there, I'm ready to go. I'm happiest when I'm on the set. You know, there's nothing like being on the set. It beats being in the cubicle. You know?
Yeah.
You know, and I say this because one project that I have coming up. Let me see if I can share it real quick with you. Let me see if I can find it so I can.
Yeah. Well, while you're doing that, that's when my daughter was doing music. I asked her why she wanted to do music, and she was like, "Because I want to be famous." I said, "Nah, that's the wrong answer. You got to be passionate about what you're doing."
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like you said, it's gonna be a whole lot of no's. You got to really, you got to be willing to do this damn near for free, and you got to put the work ethic in like it's $1 million project.
Exactly, and that's why I said theater, because I did theater for a while and I didn't get paid anything.
Yeah.
And the 9/11 dead. The 9/11 dead.
Now this is a backdrop of Cold Blows the Wind. I say that because this was a project that I worked on at night. It's cold. I did this a couple of months ago, and this is at night. So I worked 8 hours, and I'm on set like at 5 or 6 o'clock, and I'm working to 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. I get off of work. I get off from set. I wake back up 7, 8 o'clock, drag my butt back into work, work another 8 hours, and back on set at night to shoot this movie.
That's passion. That's passion right there, boy.
It was cold, and it was just like, it's like, and we did a fight scene out. We did a really good fight scene out in the dirt. It's cold, wet, and it's like I'm getting slammed around, slamming some us around. I have these wonderful lines that the director Eric Williford wrote, and producer Victoria Vidergo.
Yeah,
it was just a really great film to be a part of, and I was just happy to be there. It was just. I would be making jokes about it. I had a really thick beard. I had hair because I'm bald headed, tooth on. I created this whole character, and it was just so great to do what I love to do, and making people laugh, just being a joy on the set. Everybody was a joy on the set, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful, and that's what I mean about it. You really have to love what you're doing, because there's some nights I was just tired, but it's like when I got on that set, wake up, you auditioned for this role, you fought how many other applicants for this?
Exactly.
So,
yeah. Do be the best you can be. And the reason why I stress that out, be the best you can be, that's in anything.
Yeah.
Anything. If you're going to be a DJ, be the best DJ in the city. If you're going to be an actor, be the best actor. If you're going to be a janitor, Mom always told me this. Torrey, if you want to do something, be the best at it. If you got to sweep this lawn, because the house was just this concrete everywhere. I had to sweep it as a kid. She told me, if you're going to do it, be the best at it. Be the best street sweeper and rock him out. So do it right so you don't have to do it again. And that always stuck with me. So with my job and in information technology. I always wanted to be the best I can be the best analyst I can be, the best technician I can be. And here doing acting, I want to be the best actor that I can be. This role that you gave me, that you blessed me with, I want to be the best at it. And yeah.
Yeah, that's how it comes across, man. And I want a lot of people to pick up on your whole journey. You know what I'm saying? The work ethic, not only in the IT, but also to just take that, because a lot of folks are done after an 8-hour job. So for you to go on a different set and pull another 6 or 7 hours, man, that's passion, man. That's passion, hunger. And then the humility side of it is when you're done with it and to be able to write that, to thank you letter and be so appreciative and giving your 100% effort, man, that's you can't put a price on. That's why I say a great actor, because to me, that's what you're on the road. You're demonstrating greatness just by your day-to-day regiment.
I appreciate that, man. I do. It's just, I say that because when you work for something, when you put the time in and the grind, when you finally get it, you appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
You won't mess it up, because you see so many people, and not just with acting. You see so many people in other careers that just get stuff handed to them, and the next thing you know, it's gone.
Let's do it.
You get someone that wins the lottery. What happens in like 3 years? They broke. Okay, they just got it. They never worked for it. They never read books about managing it. It's gone. So I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in for longevity. I don't see myself retiring from this when I'm 80, 90 years old.
Passion.
But I'm hoping the break comes before. Because let's be honest, look, I can't pay bills with passion.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you, but first thing first, you're passionate about it. You got the work ethic, and you're able to juggle it and make it work out. Now let's go to the future plans, man. Because you shared the project with me and the fam, and we looked at it over Sunday, man. I think our community really needs to see this project, and it definitely taps into the vicious cycle of molestation in our community. But I'll let you go ahead and tap in on the project, because I think this is going to be mind-blowing for most people, man. When I saw it, I was like, damn, boy, this is a dark road for Torrey, boy. But he handled it like a G.
What you're talking about is a project that I was able to work with Damian L. Smith called The Block Trilogies.
Block Trilogies.
And this is my second collaboration with him. And when he told me, like, hey, Torrey, I got this part for you, man. I want you to read it. Because originally it wasn't what you saw me as. It was, I actually had the part of a husband in the other episode.
Okay.
And I said, yeah, I like to do it. And then he's like, well, actually, I want to see if can you play this other role as the pastor. I just let that go in there because I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, don't give it away.
I can't give it away. But the Block Trilogies is a cross between American Horror Story and The Twilight Zone.
Damn, I gotta watch that.
And you have such a phenomenal cast there. You have Glenn Plumer, who's in it. Denise Bequat. Denise, I'm trying to remember trying to recall her last name right now, and it went literally out the window.
It's all good.
But you have Judy Dolan in it. You have a young kid named I'm drawing a blank, and it's right down the tip of my tongue.
It's all good.
Hold on, man.
That's called brain fart.
Yeah,
it's all good.
See, I know the kid. There's two kids that's on the show. Matthew Trevera is one of them, and this was his first gig. He did an amazing job. And the other young guy, he plays my son. God knows I can't think of the kid's name right now. It's literally right there. Sage Meyer. Sorry, okay. Sage Meyer. So, and you have Marcus Paul, who's in it as well. And if you watched the TV show Brandy, he was the brother.
Yeah, the brother. Yeah.
So it's a stellar cast. Everyone. I mean, this is not everybody, but everybody brought their A game. Damien wrote such a perplexed, powerful piece because there's 3 episodes in this. And I believe it's definitely a story that needs to be told.
Man,
every episode is definitely a story that needs to be told, and I think people will really be shocked. But then it's like, man, this is powerful. Yeah, I'm very excited to be a part of it. I look forward to when it premieres. I'll definitely be posting it on Instagram. And, I encourage people to check it out. The Block Trilogies. There's nothing to mess with.
Oh, man. I will be checking the Block Trilogy out.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely.
That's like that's one of the things. Was that the question that you asked me about what projects I got coming up? Or
Yep. We started off with that one.
So that's one of them. This other project I start filming in January. Actually, January. It's called Welcome, and it's a drama. It's I say this. It's walking a mile, walking in the shoes of injustice, if you will.
Okay.
So I say that if you've seen stuff with the police, and you hear about George Floyd, and you hear about other minorities with the police, and I don't have anything against police. I mean, people kept saying defund the police. No, because that's who you call when you need help. Why would you defund that? And but she was able to. Drika Armstrong was able to write and tell such a powerful story where this is going to flip the script. So you're going to see from a different perspective here. And I think this will be an eye opener as well. This is written by Drika Armstrong and produced by Jermaine Williams.
Okay.
And we start filming that. I'll be playing a policeman in this one. So that's why I have a different. I've always respected police, but now I have a different respect for that. So you'll see a really good take on that. I'm looking forward to shooting that. And I just booked this other gig. Can't say what it is yet.
Okay.
But I'm excited about it. I want to say what it's about, but I can't say anything.
It's all good. Just when it's all ready and set to go, what I'm saying, just be sure to, let us know so I can tell people.
When I can post stuff about it, I will post it on social media. But I'm very proud of these projects that I got coming up. And there's one coming up called Bear Skin next year. I just don't know when we're going to shoot that. But I will.
It's a sequel?
Bear Skin?
Yeah, because I remember it was on one before. It was something called Bear Skin.
No, Bear Skin is an anthology. It's an anthology series. The writer-director, Miko Montes, I worked with him on what's the name of the movie? The Eclipse of A Man Eclipse, and he's wrote 2 or 3 other short films, and it's about several different characters. But in Bearskin, all of these characters are going to meet for the very first time, and it's where we've all dealt with trauma in our life. Mine was fire. And some was drowning. Well, I don't want to get too much away.
Yeah, no.
We got it.
It's pretty much Bearskin would be an anthology where you pull from several characters from several of the films where we meet a psychiatrist, which supposedly help us deal with this mental breakdowns that we're having, but we're going to have to do unorthodox treatments for this. So it's
sounds too deep. It sounds too deep.
It's going to be very dark, cerebral kind of thing. So it's going to have you thinking. So so that's another project. That might be in February or March or something like that. I'm not sure. But then, but like I said, I'm always working, just trying to get the next gig, trying to get the next opportunity to get up,
Yep.
Yeah. So, those are the current projects that I have coming out right now.
Man, that's what's up, man.
That's great, man. I'm so happy for you, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, Max, man. It's like I said, it's you just got to have that work ethic. You just got to keep grinding. You got to keep looking for opportunities. And, when I say looking for opportunities, one of the things I want to piggyback on about being great at what you're trying to do. A lot of times for some actors go on Actors Access and they submit themselves, they point and click, maybe submit a reel, and that's it. I've been able to find most of my work by myself. So I'm self-representation. I've had reps in the past. However, I got tired of always giving someone 15 to 15% of my money when they not really give me the work.
Don't want anything, yeah.
Right. And I'm not trying to, crap on agents and managers out there. There's some managers and agents that are really good at getting you out there, and there's some that are not. Mm-hmm. I said it because when I submit myself for a project, I try to find out, one, who the director is. If I can find that out, casting, producers of it, and find these individuals and write them a letter. Let them know, hey, my name is Torrey Lawrence. I see that you're working on this kind of project. I submitted for this. Would love to show you what I can do. Here's my recent work. Bam. And sometimes I get a reply back. Sometimes I've taken the step further. And what I mean by taking a step further, there's a project that I submitted myself for where they're going to be shooting this overseas.
Wow.
And I found the director and the cast director, and I connected to one of the cast directors. And so I didn't get I submitted for it, but I didn't get the audition notice yet.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on Showfax and if they got the sides up there. So pretty much over Christmas holiday where people are, having a good time, drinking and opening presents and enjoying, I'm learning lines. So I took that time to learn lines, like literally two pages of a monologue. And I did this thing and I just let them know, like, hey, my name is Torrey Lawrence. I submitted for this role. I know this is kind of unorthodox, but I just wanted you to see my work ethic. I'm not saying, I'm not begging for an opportunity or anything like that. I'm just showing you my work ethic, showing you how bad I want this, and I'm going above and beyond. And I did the audition, and I put it on YouTube, a private link, sent it to them, just to see what happens. Because I think for me, if someone was to do that, that shows an initiative right there.
Yeah.
And but I say that because it can work for you, and then sometimes it won't work for you. I say that because no one really knows my name or really knows my work. But if I was a name, and if I did this, immediately some people, let's check them out. And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't.
But it is.
And, because I get it. casting directors are being inundated with submissions, and they got to whittle down. I take it for example, from one role they might get 5,000 submissions. They got to whittle that down to 1,000. Send auditions out, and then they might whittle it down to like 200. Then you get callbacks. They got to whittle it down. So I get it. And if anything, I just feel like if you really want to find a diamond in the rough, you got to look for it. Because you can best believe there's some guy, and I say this to make this analogy. Mm-hmm. You have some actors out here that's been paying their dues for 20, 30 years that will smoke some of these cats that got ahead like in 5 years. Yeah. They will smoke them. I say to make another analogy. You got some guys that's in the NBA. You got some of these guys that's in A1 basketball that will smoke some of these guys in the NBA. They just never got the opportunity. Yeah. So you see what I mean right there? So yeah, I mean you can ball, man. I've seen ball, man. So it's like I get it, it's a numbers game, there's so many different variables, but I feel like if you truly look at some talent instead of looking at an Instagram to see how many followers someone has, instead of popularity, let's see someone's work ethic versus popularity. Because popularity only going to get you so far.
Bingo.
Because what you're going to do when a director says, hey, I want you to do this, flip it like this, and they're like,
I got too many followers.
But what do you mean? How am I supposed to play it like this? And you should be able to adapt. And because there've been some times I've been on set where the director tells them, I want you to do it like this. And the guy's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, make a substitution. Change your point of view from this to that.
That's the craftsmanship.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Someone that's been doing theater that had to pay their dues, that had to learn, that had to read the books, that had to go through a lot of no's to finally get that yes. I just have I have such a respect for it where I know how to maneuver through something that I can bring something to it. Yeah. And yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that definitely answered, man. The only thing I got left is contact. How do the folks get to follow you? What's some of your tags or your IG tags? Like how can they follow you or see some of your work?
You can follow me on Instagram, Torrey Lawrence. You'll find me on the Thunderous Madman. For those that still use LinkedIn, which surprisingly a lot of professionals still use LinkedIn. I'm under that as well, Torrey B. Lawrence. So that's really some of the best ways and I am DB as well. I am DB has my information, so that's really the best way to see. And the reason why I say IMDb, because producers and casting, they look at that too, as a way to find individuals to contact.
Yeah, that's why I saw the Death Wish when I went on IDBM. Yep. I saw the Death Wish. I saw the Fish movie. My son was definitely in on. He was looking at all of them, so I was like, okay, oh man, that's a nice one too. So yeah, man, it definitely was a pleasure, man. Just finally able to get this done, man, because I know the schedule's been hectic, and we have a whole lot of history. A lot of folks don't know that, but we go way back, 92, 91, Rocky Mountain. so I've been keeping tabs on this brother for a minute.
Yeah. He was on the basketball court just knocking on me all the time. I'm like, I'm gonna be out here. I'm just gonna do jump shots because you're gonna just keep knocking on me. This ain't right. I'm not playing no more. I ain't lying. You was knocking on me left and right. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna do jump shots. Forget it. I ain't going in that paint with you. That's all right.
Man, that was many moons ago. Many moons ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Land Rover now. You know what I'm saying? But man, it has been a pleasure, man. And definitely going keep tabs on you. Make sure folks keep a watch on what you're doing. Such a big inspiration, man, for not only Rocky Mount, North Carolina, but our people in general. So this was I love this, man. This was fun, and I'm sure we're gonna do it again on a much different level. So I'm like I said, this was nice, man. I appreciate it.
Well, I really thank you, Chris, for having me up here. DJ Battle. Don't get around on your platform, DJ Battle.
Oh, you good. They know me as either one of them.
I really appreciate you bringing me on your platform, and you asked some really great questions, and I hope what I was able to give out, I hope is beneficial to individuals that want to pursue acting or any other endeavor that I have. You just got to put the work in. Just have a great work ethic.
Oh, most definitely. These were some jewels, man. I think the youth will definitely see that, the work ethic is no joke. And if you're passionate about something, you really want to do it, put your best foot forward. And like you said, be prepared for a lot of no's, but stick to the craft. Just stick to the craft, man. Learn.
And you can't be a microwave baby.
Yeah.
You're a microwave baby, it ain't gonna work, man. It ain't gonna work.
Yeah, you're right, because that's the only way you're gonna get better. You're gonna have to audition against people that are better than you. And I went against a lot of people that were better, and because they had more credit, so they'll be able to, phone it in, if you will. And I say that with martial arts, you get better by fighting someone that's better than you. So that's the only way you're gonna to elevate your game, and that's across the board. With everything you're doing, you gotta compete against people that are bringing it.
Yep, and that makes so much sense, man. And like I say, I appreciate it again, man. And anything you got to say to the people before we roll up out of here? Anything you got to say to the people, Max, man, before we roll up out of here?
Man, everybody have a happy New Year. Do something nice.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Bless somebody. Just give some love.
That's it, man. Any parting words you got to say to the people before we roll up out of here, Torrey?
I just wanted to say thank you again for having me out here. I want to wish everybody happy holidays and a happy New Year, especially people back in Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
This has been a tough year, but I'm praying that everyone here, 2022 will be even a better year for everybody.